Call the Town of Oliver Springs City Council to order for June the 4th. Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller.
Here.
Jeff Bass. Charlie Bailey.
Here.
Teresa Van Hunt.
Here.
Terry Holland.
Here.
Becky Devane.
Here.
Got 5 of us, got quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. Can you lead us in the word prayer, please?
Our Father, we come to you today thanking you for the beautiful weather we've experienced. We pray that as we see the clouds and the trees and the greening of the vegetation, that we can see new life that comes through saving knowledge of Jesus Christ as our Savior. We pray that we can see your wonders, that we can be mystified by your greatness and your love, and yes, even your eventual judgment. We pray we would avoid the judgment
Yes.
according to your instructions through Jesus Christ. We pray for these men and women tonight as we deliberate. We pray for the citizens of our town. We ask that you would give abundantly both wisdom and give them the peace and the security and the comfort that Christ talks about in the Sermon on the Mount, where that we should be Christians and love each other and serve each other and understand each other, even though there could be differences of opinion, differences in way directions should go. But regardless, we should seek your Holy Spirit in our hearts in order that we would know not my direction or your direction, but God's direction that we must all follow. We pray for the problems in the hot spots of the world in Iran and Ukraine and Israel and elsewhere. We pray that your mercy will be extended to them, where they would experience you and reach a peace agreement that would be something that would last for many years.
Yeah.
We pray for our servicemen and women at home and abroad, and all the folks that take care of us in various ways, in security and fire protection and health care. Let's call these things in the Son's name. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Can we have a motion to approve the minutes from May 21st meeting? So moved. Motion by Mr. Miller. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Van Hook. Any discussion?
One thing, Joe, I noticed there's a discrepancy on page 2, that last column, or I'm sorry, the last paragraph. We've got it that it was, the property tax collections were at 89%, and then over on the next page, it's 86. I believe Corey said it was 86, wasn't it, Corey? I think
88.6.
88. So, okay, so that probably, under comments for town council members, that's 86, probably needs to be changed to almost 89 then.
86.6%.
Yeah, or you could correct both of them if you wanted to, just to make it clear. 86.94,
It's 88. It's 88.6.
88.6. Okay, all right,
88.6.
yeah,
Yes, correct. Yes.
then we can be exact. That's the only thing I saw.
Anything else? Anybody? Roll call, Joe?
Robert Miller.
Yes, sir.
Charlie Bailey.
Yes.
Teresa Van Hunt.
Yes.
Becky Devane.
Yes.
Terry Holland.
Yes.
Passed.
Thank you, sir. Anyone from the delegation who'd like to address council, please come forward, state your name.
My name is Phyllis Crowe. I live here in Oliver Springs. Becky, I would like to thank you for all the work that you're going to be doing at the Red Bud Park. And I know you're putting a lot of your money and your time into it. We appreciate it. That park was your dad's. He came to us and talked to us right before he did it, he said, I got some money. He said, I want to put a park here. I said, you can put it anywhere if you want to. I said, there's other places. He said, no, this is my spot right here. So I call it Mr. Brunnett's Park. But thank you for,
Next week it will be complete.
well, thank you for what you're doing. So, oh, I forgot my glasses. Sorry about that. Recently, the Hobager family, they gave us their dad's model cars, no, model trains that he had collected. He collected them for years, and honestly, there were hundreds of them. And we went down to pick them up, and I say there was like 3 truckloads of model trains. A lot of them were very expensive trains. And the family requested that we display them so that the town and the people and tourists could also enjoy them. And that's what our goal was. We promised them that we would do that. So last week, we went up there to the depot to rearrange the items that were there to make room for some shelves and redo the display cases and so forth. And the librarian told me, she said, this is not, the train room is not yours anymore. Said, Corey has given it to us. We give it to the library. And Corey, I really wish you would have at least let us know about it, because it was a total surprise. But Jason, we had a conversation, you and I did, or a text on it. And you had made copies of the minutes from 31 years ago.
Right.
It was 1995. And the minutes, whoever it was, I didn't recognize the people. They had made a motion that the museum part of the depot be given 2 rooms. And throughout the years, I don't know, it was never enforced, never at all. But I don't know what happened because it was before my time. And the only thing I know, I've been working as a volunteer for this town and with the Historical Society for over 24 years. And we have always had 3 rooms. So now we don't have a room to put the trains up in. That was our train room. But this motion was made 31 years ago. And I was just curious as to who had the time in the city to go back into the records that far back. That you would had to went through 744 city council meetings to find that little motion that was never enforced to dissolve the room of the Historical Society. I just want to know who got up one morning and said, okay, we're going to take a room away from the depot for the museum. We are very blessed in this town to have 2 museums. Not any other town locally that I know has this many nice museums, and this is for the town. It's not for the Historical Society, it's not for any one person. But what we have done, or what I have helped do over the last 24 years, is to establish something that the town will be proud of. And I would just like to know who in the world would do such a thing, just to get up one morning and say, hey, we're taking a room, and it's a very small room. It's not good for anything except to display items with. But I would like to request that during this council, that under your new business, I assume, that a council member would rescind that old motion that was done 31 years ago and reinstate that 3rd room back to the museum archives so that our trains can be displayed. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
I'm glasses.
Yeah, I'm Jessica. I'm the librarian at the depot that Ms. Crow was talking about. So the room that she is talking about, yes, it currently shows that is like a train depot room. But the lighting in it is perfect for a seating area for our patrons to be able to read. The big picture window is just beautiful. And I'll just give you a little bit of how many people that are actually going through the library at this time. So the summer reading kickoff went wonderful, thanks to Charlie being able to help get the gym. We probably had over 200 people show up for the kids vendor event. The event on Monday, we had 42 kids show up just to dig in some dirt and find some fossils and gems, and they had a blast. Then on Wednesday, we had a local author that come and read there. We had 27 people show up for it, and then today we had 29 showed up just to hear a story and be able to do a craft. And in 2023, we had 625 visitors visit the library. Today, we're over 4,000 people that come through the library just to check books out or just to look through, the archives that we do have. We have a small collection of those that, like census, doing genealogy, or just, the activities that I have at the library. So to have that room would be wonderful for the library to be able to have somewhere that they can sit, work on their computers, or read a book, instead of just all downstairs. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else like to approach council? Speak.
My name is Cecil Crow. I live at 720 Doherty Road, Oliver Springs. I just wanted to take a minute to address your comments from last our council meeting. You said you were disappointed, you were embarrassed, you were ashamed, and you were appalled at what happened at the previous meeting. You said there was a significant lack of knowledge and that nobody took the time to read that ordinance. And that's not true. The people that came, that addressed the council in a professional and respectful way knew what that ordinance said. They read that ordinance, but it was only because of one council member that we even knew about that ordinance. Nobody else bothered to tell us. Nobody else bothered to give us a copy of it so that we could be prepared. It's distressing to me. I hate that you felt like that you were embarrassed. But the truth is the people that were here addressed the issues, not people, but addressed the issues because they had read the ordinance. But you told us that we didn't, and you were embarrassed that we addressed it. Now, when it came time for new business, there was people that got upset because it was apparent that you weren't going to listen to what we had to say, that you were going ahead with the ordinance. And they got, one of them got really frustrated. Now, that's not everybody. That's not everybody. But you also said that nobody had contacted you about clarification. We didn't need clarification. The ordinance was really plain. You said you got vilified on social media. We didn't have anything to do with that. We don't control social media. If people made an issue out of you personally, I'm sorry, but that's what politics are. I got significantly criticized on several times while I was mayor, but I just ignored it and went on. You said that the revenue from this ordinance would be about $2,000 a year. We got a $300,000 deficit for the last 2 years, and we're concerned about $2,000. We're focused on that rather than on our financial problems for the city. We're only collecting 85% of, between 80 and 85% of our property taxes. I don't know how much that is. Based on my calculations, I think it's somewhere between $450,000 and $500,000. Anybody know how much is owed in back taxes? Those are some of the things that I think we need to be focused on, and instead of trying to ding nonprofits for a couple of $1,000s.
Anyone else like to speak?
Hey y'all. I'm B, the DAB Auxiliary Commander. I just wanted to come up and let everybody know kind of what we got going on most recent. We had our meeting Tuesday, first Tuesday at 6 o'clock we eat. 7 o'clock is the meeting. We invite everybody out. The auxiliary will be having a veteran art show February the 13th from 2 to 5. We'll be doing dinner, and I thought it'd be kind of like a Valentine's date for whoever. I'd really like for everybody to come out. Let's consider it an amateur art show.
Is that 2027?
Yes. This Saturday, we have karaoke from 5 to 9. There's a $10 cover. That includes dinner. We're going to do the house chili and hot dogs, and I'm not sure what we'll be having for dessert. The proceeds help us support our veterans, their families, and the Tri-County communities. We had a great time last month. We do karaoke usually on the first Saturday, same time, dinner, you know. We invite everybody out. Today, the DAB built a ramp for a veteran's widow in Harriman. So if you know anybody that needs some help, you know, let us know. The DAB doesn't know yet, but I found out today the widow lady told me that we could have an oak tree that had fallen down. And so I thought, what a great opportunity for the DAB to supply firewood come this winter for those in need. And I think that's pretty much all I've got. I did have a question. Last meeting, the ladies from the African American Museum had brought up lighting that needed to go at the park. I don't really know the specifics, but I was just kind of wondering if you guys have rolled around, think about how and when, and you know, if we could help, we would be more than happy to help and whatever. I think that's all I've got, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
Anyone else like to address council?
It's concerning Off Springs. It's concerning the library. Okay. We had a thing the other day about the kids with the dinosaur stuff at the library. We had a tree that we put in there 3 years ago. We took that tree out. Remember when we put the tree in, come up here. There was a big major hole there. Well, the librarian wanted to use that hole to bury all the stuff in. Plus, us being over our molding, it was rough going through it. It was real deep. Because when I took it back out, when it died, we would leave a big hole. And we talked about, you know, filling it back in over last year. Perfect opportunity, perfect time for use it. Okay. Well, there's been a bunch of stuff come up at the street park start window that there was people raising Cain about us putting dirt in that hole for the library to use for everything. But you know, that got nothing to do with me, but the point is, I'm the one that made the hole. I'm the one that filled the hole in. And it was for the kids when I filled it in. Instead of us actually getting over here one time we should have for some business. We had time to get over here. Me and Tommy talked about it Monday morning. He told me to go ahead and fill it in, what you needed to fill it in, put the stuff in, and then I could come back and clean it up. But before we even had a chance to come back the next day and clean it up, That was the worst thing that ever happened. So I'm just wondering why it was so bad about that hole in to keep from it being so hard mowed. Just that, and then stuff that's happened in the library here lately. Books get pulled off the shelf when everybody's outside
And thrown on the floor.
and thrown on the floor. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. So I'm to the point I want to make a motion about the depot being the library, period. Because she's got every kid you see in here right now. It's a lot more. A lot more that comes to that library. She's not got enough room for all the kids that she's got right now. And she puts one shelf in, and it looks like it's on the floor. Really? I mean, and nobody in the building. That's all I want to say about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to speak? So. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
I'm Amber Coyne. I became a Oliver Springs resident back in 2021. I've loved it. It's wonderful here. And I would like to also speak on the library. With a little background, I've always been a library kid. I was always told that is the safe spot. If something's wrong, go there. If you don't know something, go there. The librarian will always help you. And I've taken that to heart. I taught that to my son. He has also taken it to heart. Now, having said that, I would also like to join in on the argument that the library needs more space than what they currently have. It would be a great community benefit, honestly, because libraries are a dying thing. It's a third space, a space you don't have to pay to go. You don't have to have a membership. You don't have to be part of a certain group. Everybody is welcome. And that is so few and far between now, especially in this digital age. Things that I have seen turn around greatly since Jessica has taken over as the librarian, it's been astounding. The library was just closed when I first got to go and see. We had to look in the windows to see many things in there and see the books just sitting there. Made us sad. We understood though. But when she came in, she started taking care of the space, cleaning it back up from where it had not been used as properly as it should be, and reinvigorating the library's collection. But in all of this, we've also had homeschool groups now coming in. They don't have to go to other towns. Like, as far away as Knoxville, I'm sure they're going, because there's not many places for them to meet here. It's also a place for students to do their homework, whether they be K through 12 or college students, because not everybody has a computer, not everybody has the internet. Those are still expensive commodities, especially when it comes to a smaller town that may not have the highest income currently. She's bringing in STEM activities, which is just sparking interest in all these really cool fields for, again, not just the children, but the teenagers, the young adults. They do pay attention. We also have, of course, early childhood literacy, and I know that when she came in, that was one of your big proponents, was we get that early childhood literacy going, because that really gets them going. It sets them up for success for life and helps them with their education. But it's also opportunities for success. People have used the computers and the internet there, even recently, to get jobs. They can access various government assistances if they need it, just to give them a hand up so they can better themselves, better their lives, better their families' lives. And we've also had college representatives come by, which again, that continuing education, that people may not have been able to get to these representatives. They may not have known about these college resources that they could have actually accessed at full time. So that's huge. And as far as social, touching back on that third space, we have clubs, we have workshops, we have other programs that both adults and children can just come and do. Statistically, if a person spends just 30 minutes, whether it be a week, a day, every other day, with other people instead of isolating in their house, which we are all very prone to do nowadays because it is a digital age, they are less likely to be depressed, have anxiety, and have other social issues. They also have a sense of community, which is also, sadly, a dying breed. I apologize, I lost my thought for a second. But it's also actually an underutilized opportunity at the moment for the town as a whole, because this can be a community hub for information to share. Because right now I know there's a little bit of a discrepancy here and there. People don't know where to go to look. Social media, we're not all on social media. A lot of people are moving away from social media just because it's just an angry place. A lot of people are going back to where they're wanting to do physical things. They're wanting to be included in physical spaces with actual people, not just screens. And being able to start utilizing this space to share that relevant information would, I think, be a great boon to the town. It would be a great way to help get us back on track of that community that I know we all want. That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, for sure. Does anyone else like to address council?
That would be okay.
Absolutely. Come on.
I just wanted to finish what she was saying. I'm newer to the area, and I just like to say when we just started homeschooling as well, it's just a great opportunity for our girls to come to see their friends. And it's hard to go all the way to Knoxville, and it's just when you have a little bit smaller of a group, it's a more intimate group of kids and with parents, and we really need our libraries. So I really hope you guys do everything you can for them.
Absolutely, thank you. Anyone else? So I'm a firm believer in those who read, lead. I'm a firm believer, as witnessed by what Jessica's done at the library. I support the library. I support the library 100%. Unequivocally, unashamedly, without hesitation, without reservation. And here's why. I had that conversation today. Why do you support the library? I said, and here's why. Here's what I told the lady and her husband. 2 reasons. Number 1, there's 2 places you're going to go that's going to change your life. Number 1 is church. Number 2 is a library. That's a fact. Those who read, lead. Our community needed a library. I recognize that. Me and Corey, one of the first conversations we had, I told him, I said, that library is going to be Kids Central. And it is Kids Central now. It is. Right now, you go over there, there's a reading program, there's a feeding program. There's 40, 50, 60, 70 kids a day over there. And it's a safe space. She's touched on it. I'm not going to say I'm not the biggest advocate of that, but I'll say this, my hand and my trauma, I understand safe spaces now more than I did 5 years ago. And I'm not the touchy-feely guy. I'm not like, get into it with your emotions and all that, no. But you need a safe space that you can be quiet. Jessica has the absolute most amount of love of any one individual you'll ever meet in your life. And those kids know it. They know it. And I agree with Tom when he said, you know what, we need more space at that library.
Yes, for sure.
You know, and to answer Mrs. Crow's question, where did we have the time to find in the minutes from 1995, a lot of these things have been found because of happenstance. You were looking for something else and you run across little nuggets like that right there that stated that council approved 2 rooms to be used while the museum was being built. Not to be extended 31 years. I think the town has been very gracious in extending it 31 years. But is there any words of thanks or consideration? No, we just want more. Okay, fine. Just like this, Ms. Rose Ingram, we found this in the minutes too. Ms. Rose Ingram had a petition, 177 people signed this petition wanting the city to take ownership of the depot. We found that. That was from what, 1982-ish? I mean, that's wild. We also found in the minutes where when the depot had grants that had applied for grants, it was the town of Oliver Springs that applied for those grants. That was given the funding. If that isn't the town's, then somebody committed fraud. We found those in the minutes. I mean, it was just, this is not something we went looking for. It's just something we found. And I'll say, listen, hey, $2,000 or $3,000, not a lot of money. You're right, Cecil, it's not. When you're talking a budget deficit of $150,000, $200,000. But you know what? I saw a lady sit down on the back row a minute ago. That little bit of money was going to be reinvested back into the community, whether it was the Carmichael Park or the library. One or the other. The primary goal was Carmichael Park and bringing it further along. And you're right, it's not a lot of money. It's not. But a little plus a little plus a little over a long time equals a whole lot. And that's a fact. That's a fact. I live and die by that. And I make no reservation about that. And it was admitted in this room 1 month ago that people did not read that ordinance when they got up and spoke. It was shouted at us, actually. That's a fact too. So, you know, it's unfortunate. I love my town. I have given selflessly to this town for 3.5 years. I have tried to be equal across, and no matter if you're the poorest of the poor or the richest of the rich, you get treated the same. Because I grew up on the other side of the tracks. I know what it's like to be working class poor. And I know what it's like when you look across and you see everybody getting it handed to them and you don't. And I said, when I am the person that leads this town, I'll make sure that the least gets treated like the most, and the most gets treated like the least. Because the foot of the cross, it's level. There are no favorites. There aren't. Now, am I? Doesn't matter. I do things decently and in order, and I do things civilly. I don't do them shouting, screaming, yelling. I will give until I can give no more. I'll find solutions when there are solutions to be had. My goal is to live peaceably with all men at all times, but when you push me to the brink and I'm camped out, I'm done. Givers give and takers take, and I'm a giver. This town's been givers, this council's been givers. I could say a lot more, I'm just going to shut up. Corey?
Announcements, Juneteenth, June the 14th, Soul Food Sunday, Mandy Carmichael School Organization presents Soul Food Sunday again, Sunday, June 14th, 3 p.m. Location, DAV Lodge, 530 Kingston Avenue. Tickets are $30 for adults, $15 for a child. I'll have these little flyers out front. It has phone numbers on its contacts. So again, that's Soul Food Sunday, June 14th at the DAV. Second sheet you all probably have your packets, the Olive Springs Public Library Summer Reading Program. Just goes through the dates and the topics that will be covered. Again, that was the summer reading program at the library. TDOT maintenance contract, both the mayor and the city attorney have signed the contracts, but this is for your FY 26 through 28. Previous, it was a one-year contract, kind of like we discussed before. One-year contract, $38,296. Current two-year contract, it was $73,318, which that's an average of $36,659 a year, so it has decreased. But TDOT did put a stipulation in note at the very top of the contract that they're reevaluating reimbursement rates to match the actual costs that local agencies are inflicting. So if the rates increase, the department will work with the city to amend the contract in order to incorporate new rates. TDOT also has Tri-County Boulevard on the schedule to be paved in 27. So the handout, so this is the second letter that I have sent to TDOT. It's a request to remove the grass medians on Highway 61, 62 within the city limits. So just a little bit about this. I'm going to read the whole letter. On behalf of Town of Olive Springs, we respectfully submit this formal request for permission to remove the existing grass medians located along State Highway 61, 62, also known as Tri-County Boulevard, within the municipal boundaries of Olive Springs. The town is aware that TDOT has plans to resurface and improve this corridor within the next 2 to 3 years. In anticipation of this upcoming project, we believe it is both practical and beneficial to coordinate the removal of existing grass medians prior to the scheduled paving. Removing the grass medians ahead of the planned resurface project will provide the following benefits: improve traffic flow and reduce congestion on key commercial corridor, enhance safety by allowing for properly designed turn lanes, support existing businesses by improving customer access, and encourage and accommodate future commercial growth and investment. So again, I'll go follow up on this. It may get to the point, if I don't get a response from TDOT, we may reach out to Ken Yeager to the state just to make sure we do get this.
So actually, I've already reached out to Ken this week, and I've already reached out to State Representative Rick Scarborough. In 2 weeks or a week and a half, I'll be meeting with Rick, and hopefully this week or next, I'll be meeting with Ken about this specifically.
Okay. The only other updates, Airport Road, which we talked about during the water meeting, contacted Rogers Group and asked about kind of where they are on the schedule. Again, we tried to kind of corroborate us finishing the water line installation and them moving in within a couple of weeks and paving. That way we don't have to deal with the issue we're having out there right now. Rogers Group did say it would be probably within 4 to 6 weeks before we could get Airport Road paved. So Airport Road is going to be paved from the intersection of Midway and Airport all the way to the city limits. The other couple of things, we talked about the petition for the installation of speed tables on West Spring Street and Lookout Avenue. I believe Chief did do the speed studies. Right now, we just can't recommend putting speed tables on those streets. They don't meet our qualifications to put one. But we did discuss on West Spring Street about possibly putting in a stop sign. And I believe that would be at Pine Street, I think it's Pine Street, West Spring Street. So that might be something we look at to kind of slow the traffic down on West Spring Street. If that's something you all want to pursue. That's all I have. I think we'll get into budget stuff.
And
Actually, go ahead.
I will say, I was going to mention that Mr. John, he's our new city attorney, has a bunch of information about the depot, that if anybody would like to see the information, they can get with our city attorney, and more than welcome to view everything that we have, that we've collected. So if you'd like to speak on that.
Certainly, we've done quite a bit of research on that actually, and we've got some, deeds and you know, just, you know, it goes really all the way back to 1971, where the TVA, the USA acting through the TVA, they acquired the land from the Louisville and Nashville Railroad Company, January 13, 1971. So we've got the deed for that. And they purchased that for $14,350. There's quite a bit that goes along with that. But we've got a whole history involving the depot as well as, and Corey provided a lot of this information to us, and then we dug in a little bit deeper. And so we have deeds and warranty deeds, special warranty deeds, and the like related to the depot property. Nowhere in any document is there any indication that the library or the caboose, that they've ever been transferred to, or that it's ever otherwise been owned by the Oliver Springs Historical Society. And I would welcome any document that anybody might come up with for that, but we've certainly not found any. And so the city, the town of Oliver Springs has a permanent lease for that property, upon which the depot sits, and ownership of the depot. And that's all the records that we found related to it. And we go back to that meeting that was held some 31 years ago. Even at that time, 31 years ago, it's obvious from the records of the city, and we speak through our minutes, that the town of Oliver Springs has full ownership of the depot, and of course we're there permanently through a lease that we have with TVA. So I've got all those records. If anybody wants to see them, I'll be glad to make them available. But it's very telling when you look at minutes where the Historical Society, and straight from the minutes, is allowed, they are allowed to use 2 waiting rooms at the depot as a museum. And so what that tells me is that it can be disallowed at any time, if that's the desire of council. So as we currently sit, for 31 years, the Historical Society has been allowed to use 2 waiting rooms at the depot as a museum. But that is subject to change at the will of this body.
Thank you, sir.
And, does the city have a lease on that property?
Yes.
The copy of the deed I've got says you've got an easement, not a lease.
Yeah. Permanent.
Easement?
Permanent. Yeah.
A lot different.
Forever. Forever. Yeah. Yeah. I've got that too.
Mr. Miller.
Or there's a pothole at 734 Midway. And the on Valley Drive, this end of Oak Circle, across from Ridgeview, into that culvert is, you turn in there.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's broke. It's collapsed right there. Somebody's turned in there with something pretty good size and they misjudged and they broke pavement and all off right there.
Okay.
Before school goes back, bus goes back on That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Bailey.
First, I want to say that I think that it's a shame, for one, that we have to sit in here divided in the room instead of being all on the same page. Second, I don't think that I can agree with anything that has to do with not giving more space to the library. I see the work that Jessica puts in and the kids that she has there, and if anyone needs or deserves it, it's her, in my opinion. And also I want to say that it was mentioned that someone didn't get or had the opportunity to read the ordinance that keeps getting brought up. And that if we would have just ran it by you all, that maybe that wouldn't have went that way, but anybody's welcome to run for these seats up here, is how I feel about it. So I think if you want to see the notes before the meeting, feel free to run in the next election, and you can get a packet just like the rest of us every week. That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Van Hook.
Way to start. Jessica, you do an excellent job at the library. I see your notes, I see you on Facebook. I appreciate so much what you're doing for the children in this town, and not just the children. You have projects and classes and activities for, people of all ages. Anybody can participate. You do an excellent job. Please don't let yourself be discouraged, because we're behind you. We are fully behind you with what you're doing over there. It's one of the positive things in this town, and I'm looking for positive things in this town. So we got your back. Back to what Charlie said. The ordinance from the meeting that everybody was so worked up about was not an ordinance. It was not an ordinance. There was no number assigned to it. It was a proposal, just a proposal. Proposals are meant, I said this earlier, proposals are meant to be marked up, added to, subtracted from, changed. We're still nowhere. We haven't even got to discuss it, thanks to all the people who continue to have opinions about it, which is fine for you to have an opinion, but if you want us to discuss it, you're going to have to let us. Which you haven't done yet. So if you really want a resolution of it, you're going to have to be quiet so we can talk. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Ms. Hall, Mr. Hall.
I
had Becky in my peripheral vision. I apologize. I'm digging myself a hole, John Deere.
Kids are out here. I want to remind some people that at the high school, that horn goes off during bad weather. That is a sign that the lighting in that area, and I think it's even audible enough if you listen to it actually tell you it's either clear or not. So if you're in my neighborhood, you can hear it from down this direction. Keep that in mind. Up the hill at Winter Gap, there's 2 short-term rentals. I assume they're on the tax short-term rental list. The one on Winter Gap in Kingston, they've been kind of run off from the side of the road, and I noticed that across the library there's signs out there saying no parking. So what are these 2 businesses supposed to do for parking if they can't park there?
So, I think the parking was just, I think those signs were just put up for the event. That was what on Saturday.
They're permanent signs.
Okay, I need to look at that because, the people can use that parking lot.
Well, it says no, Tom, you remember what it says?
Okay, the thing about with the signs right now, we had to put them up because we didn't have the original signs that goes up there. They're on order, they should be here by Tuesday of next week. And it does say for library parking only. because in the thing with the rentals, they supposed to have their own parking is what it says in the, for the town. I mean, I don't know how you illustrate it or whatever, but for the town, it says that they supposed to have their own parking for whatever they have coming in. So I don't know on that, but yeah.
So I have talked to the people at the short-term rental, and I mean, I have told them that they can park toward the back of this parking lot, not to stay up near the front, because there was a couple of them pulled in the other day. It was maybe they or some before the event, and we were going to have over here, but yeah, I have talked to them about that.
Can we get some signage on that back part? That way
Yeah, absolutely.
they have theirs, and keep the confusion down, so.
Right.
They,
And it's, I mean, we had issues before with them parking in the road. So that was kind of an overflow loss for them to pull the trailers and stuff back.
That would keep the confusion down for the start parking somewhere like down near Brown's or the bank and all that.
Question, could we charge,
Good.
I mean,
You only get that lost.
$10 a day or $5 a day? I mean, that'd be revenue. I mean, just saying,
It's probably just easy for them to pull there because of their trailers, so I'm sure they would.
so.
Refer
maybe-
that to the city attorney, because if you're going to rent city property out
Yeah.
and exclude citizens from it, does that raise a question?
Oh,
Is that a legitimate thought?
Or if you split the parking
I
lot.
don't have an answer black and white, but that's.
yeah.
Any answer though.
Okay.
Libraries in front.
Yeah, if you would, please, research that and we can come back with an ordinance or something.
So maybe figure out whether it goes to the
Yeah.
building owner or the actual people parking.
You probably have to have a boundary of what the city property is and what the property owner has too. Because what we think may be city property may actually be private owned and vice versa. So, you know, we don't want to get into a contest with our neighbor over the exact location of where people can park unless we know where the boundaries are.
For sure.
That would keep us from, I hate to get windy or somebody trying to collect $10 or something, if it be homeowner or something,
Yeah.
that way it could be free or,
Yeah.
pre-figured out or something. And lastly, I'm kind of stuck in the middle here. I'm all for the library, I'm also for the town history. My family's got a lot of history here. So I don't want to forget about the town history also. But I think when we get our budget all straightened out, let's go ahead and put on the agenda and get this put to bed.
For sure. Okay, thank you, Shaw. Mr. Van.
I agree with everybody. I think the history of Oliver Springs is very important, and I think the library is very important. And I agree with Ms. Bailey that we should all get along.
Mr. Mayor, I've got several observations about the comments today. Made notes.
Joe, we're doing good on time.
Remember, lawyers get paid by word. Town council is obligated to publish the agenda. Town council is not obligated to send to every citizen in town the agenda and the entire agenda packet. A town council doesn't go knocking on doors saying this is on our agenda. So in that regard, when Cecil Crowe, our former mayor who did a good job, mentioned that he was unaware of it, I'm a recorder and sometimes I'm unaware of what's happening down here because I don't have stuff in my packet, so I come to the meeting. Have to come to the meeting, but that's the democratic and the American way. So in that regard, it's the duty of the public to investigate what the legislative body is trying to pass, whether it's for a particular organization or against it, or for the public in general or against it. Now, as a footnote, it's been my experience that nobody comes to the council meeting unless they think something's going to go against them, and then they fill it up. But when it comes time for those same people to run for election, they never run. It's the little red hen theory that I won't get into. But if y'all remember that nursery rhyme, that's my favorite thought about things like this, little red hen theory. Now, the second thing is that was an events ordinance. It was not directed at the Historical Society. It was an events ordinance. It applies to all the events of which the Historical Society could be one of several or many throughout the year. And there were about 4 different ordinances, and just as several have observed, they were drafts to be discussed. Now, yes, it said to consider and perhaps pass. That wording is just on just about every ordinance, every item that is discussed in town council, has been for many years. Now, why did they do that? As a lawyer, it's a form, and you just change the words on the form and print it out for the next meeting, see? And when you, as the public, exercise your public responsibility to look at the minutes that's posted on the town, look at the agenda that's posted on the town website or out front, or come down and ask the city secretary for a copy, then you read that and you make additional inquiries, see? Now, the third thing that the police chief mentioned in that meeting was that the town's liability insurance did not want to insure the town unless they had the certificate of insurance from the Historical Society for the event, October Sky Festival. But see, the ordinance didn't say the Historical Society had to provide the town with a certificate of insurance. None of the drafts said that. It said the people having the events have to do that. And that's something that nobody talked about until Chief Laxton mentioned it. And as a lawyer, that's like taking a cattle prod and hitting me in the kidney. Because if you ain't got insurance and you get sued, you're in bankruptcy court. And to me, the Historical Society, they don't have any money. No, but they own the museum that's paid for. And if there's a $100,000 judgment against the Historical Society that the Historical Society can't get paid, guess what gets sold at auction? And I'm not trying to threaten the Historical Society. I'm just simply saying that in a broad sense, the town was doing a favor, or strike that, the insurance company was doing the town a favor by calling this requirement of the insurance company contract to the town. And the town in that regard was doing a favor to the Historical Society for calling that to its attention. We hope there's no litigation, but one does not know the future. And if the town didn't have insurance, the town has the resources. The court required the town to set the tax rate high enough to pay the judgment. And that's property tax, by the way. So you could have a 30% tax increase to pay a substantial judgment because the town did not follow the terms of the insurance contract. And see, you know, the bottom line is that there's far more underlying the placing of this ordinance on the agenda that never got discussed. And I shared with you the insurance. I didn't know about that. Nobody told me until Chief Laxton said it. And if I'd known that, that'd been one of the first things I'd said, because that rises right up here, real high. See, the goal of the town is to try and create an ordinance that will accomplish the goal and protect everybody, not to cut somebody's throat, not to cut the Historical Society's throat. So, you know, like Corey suggested, I talk too much anyway. That's what a lot of people tell me, I guess, but I guess God's blessed me with that. But I just wanted to share that these people aren't trying to cut your throat.
We've got $1 million liability policy.
Yes, but if you didn't give a certificate of insurance to the town, would that have breached your insurance policy where they wouldn't defend? Notice I said in the form of a question. And what the Historical Society would have to sue its own insurance company to ask for a court order to make it defend. See? And this is what I'm saying. There's 2 people in the room that knew that. Me and the city attorney. See? There was one person that knew about the insurance requirement, and that was the police chief. Now, they might have known it, but they didn't say it. So what I'm trying to say is that there can be many reasons that are good and valid. There could be many reasons that aren't good and valid. That's why this ordinance was considered. And for that matter, there may not be a right answer or a wrong answer, because both the Historical Society and the Town Council could be right in various forms. they could both be wrong, or they could be right to various degrees. See, lots of times it's not black and white, like a lot of people think, it's gray. So, I just wanted to share that because, we're a small town, and I've got friends in the Historical Society, and I've got friends and a wife on town council, and, we just don't need to have these hard feelings. We don't need to be upset at one another.
Correct.
And it's not biblical either, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. See? And of course, we're all not perfect Christians. The only perfect person is Christ, and they crucified him, so think what they do to us. But to me, my goal is to march forward unified, hand in hand, to improve the town, improve the library, improve the Historical Society, improve the Arrowhead Park October Sky Festival, not to work against somebody. And if we all put our heads together in a spirit of cooperation to accomplish a goal to protect everybody and get the job done, we'll be in good shape. Thank you.
I agree with Joe. I concur. Thank you.
Mayor, may I have the floor? You afford me just for 1 minute.
Absolutely, Doug.
Joe was talking about nobody knowing things, and I'm going to toot my own horn here. In 35 years, I've been in the media. And my goal was, and I'm Dudley Evans of TV 12, now 1081, I have made it a point in all the years I've done the media is to be locally minded. Channel 10, Channel 6, Channel 8 is not going to put on the agenda of this council. But we do it every Thursday that there's a meeting. On my local news at 5 o'clock, what is coming up on this agenda, Wendy sends it to me, and we report it. Every one of them, and every document that's on there. And then it replays again at 11. So we will cover everything. John Owen knows I'm in Harriman. And I was on council for 12 years in Rockwood. So I know that it's important. So what I'm saying is, in 30-something years, I probably attended 1,100 city council and county commission meetings. And I know it's important that people get the word. That's what I do every day on the news. And you can get it on YouTube, Facebook, our TV channels. You'll know what's going on in every city government if you watch my news. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. So before Chief Laxton comes and gives an update real quick, the time of the night is when? Right before dawn, right? And so, as dark as things may seem right now, I hope and pray that going forward, that a new light will shine and a new era of cooperation will spring forward. That's my hope and my goal. That's my prayer. Truly. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Becky, Terry, Teresa, Charlie, Robert. David.
I want to be real quick. One of the things I just want to bring to your attention, I spoke with the mayor about last night, and right before that was Charlie. I really ask that y'all do reconsider and start looking at the event ordinance pretty quickly. A lot of y'all may not know, but there was a plan from some outside people wanting to have a parade for 4th of July. I deny it because we do not have this in place to satisfy our insurance. What y'all have coming next is you're going to have people wanting to have homecoming parades. You're going to want to have Christmas parades. You're going to want to have downtown events. All that per our insurance company is on hold. So the longer we wait on this, the longer we're going to keep pushing stuff off. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Hey, David, turn the air conditioner on.
Corey, perhaps we should separate that from insurance and go ahead and try next meeting to get that, at least the insurance part of it settled. And then we can entertain the rest of it whenever we can get to that.
Would you like to speak? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. We're a pretty informed group around here.
Mr. Mayor.
I understand Robert's Rules of Order, but sometimes sometimes you just gotta change.
I apologize for not speaking to you earlier, but you did it because you mentioned Mrs. Rose Ingram. And I could not let that moment slide. When I came back to this town, I hadn't been born here, but moved away. When I came back here, and as a 14-year-old, I hitchhiked downtown for the very first time. And I was going down to Charlie Riggs to play pinball, Judge.
I know that machine well.
And, but on the way down in front of the 5 and 9, there's a little old lady, to me, 14-year-old, she was a little old lady, but she was down shoveling coal dust out from around that telephone pole right in front of the Emory 5 and 10. And she had her wheelbarrow and the government spade, you know, and she was shoveling that coal dust into that wheelbarrow. And so I said hi to her and exchanged greetings. Within 30 seconds, she had me shoveling coal. And, you know, I remember having this distinct impression. I thought, I did not come down here to shovel coal. It took me till I got well grown and that reminiscence came back to me. And I thought, she wasn't shoveling her coal, was she? She's shoveling, you know, she wasn't shoveling somebody else's coal, she was shoveling our coal, you know, the town's coal, my coal. And I have come to realize that so profoundly. I just wanted to thank you for mentioning her because she was such a pioneer and she did more probably than this town could properly appreciate her for. But I appreciate her so much. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Robbie, wasn't it because of her that the depot it's torn down and hauled off?
Ms. Ingram was a huge mover and shaker in that.
Yeah.
Mr. Harvey was a huge mover and shaker in that. Several people like that. And she was just a champion for the town. And she married to Chief Ingram, which, if you remember, Chief Ingram was just a jewel in his own right. But thank you for mentioning Ms. Ingram, Ms. Rose Ingram. We should not ever forget that name.
I really do love history. I may not be a history buff, but I love history because what's the old cliche? Those who don't know history are what? Do what?
Doomed to repeat it.
Doomed to repeat it, right? So you got to learn from the past. You got to learn from those who are. So I'm 47, and I mean this with sincerity. Like my mentor, Dr. Charles Murphy, he's 84, he'll be 85. So he's got a lot of wisdom, right? He's got some great hairs. And you've got to learn from the people who've gone before you, right? You've got to learn. They've got wisdom, they've got knowledge, they have understanding, they know the past. They know the pitfalls. And if you don't learn from them, you're going to do it yourself. So I appreciate that. All right, shut up. Chief Bailey's not here. Old business done, new business, Corey. Discuss fiscal year 2026, 2027 budgets.
Which one's first? Don't we do
The general fund?
Okay. So yesterday, we received the equalized property tax rate from Morgan County. So Morgan County just went through their property tax reassessment. Stone County, Anderson County was, I guess, 25 last year. And that's where our tax rate went to the 7297, which is current. So, and this was in your packet, so you got the letter that was sent to us yesterday. Now, we've also got the spreadsheet. Let's just go to the spreadsheet real quick, because that letter's got the same information in it. So Morgan County's assessment in 25 was 500, and we only have 28 parcels in the city of Roberts Springs, instead of Morgan County. Assessment's 581,500. Current assessment, 1,289,000. So I mean, it's more than double. So the equalized tax rate goes to 0.7288. Now, I tell you that we're obviously going to exceed the equalized tax rate. So the decision that we need to make tonight is not to approve a budget. It is just to decide what tax rate. I just need to know the number tonight, what our tax rate's going to be. So we either select a tax rate tonight, or I'll present a continuing budget resolution at the June 18th meeting. We go back to a workshop and work something out that we all something we can all decide on.
You gotta set a public hearing.
Well, I've got to have the tax rate first. If we
Yeah.
set the tax rate tonight, then we'll set the public hearing.
You can do it the same motion.
Yeah, but if we can't come to a tax rate tonight, then the next council meeting, I'll present the continuing resolution, we go back to workshop until we decide.
How do you prefer to do this? Do you want to discuss the variant?
So, we'll go ahead and get to the budgets that I can give you. So, based off the past 2 budget workshops that we've had, the initial ones that were presented was 8 cent, 11 cent, all the way out to a 22 cent property tax increase. So obviously after discussion, you know, a 20 cent, 22 cent, I mean, that's gonna be a hard sell to the public. I mean, we have to keep taking into account that 50% of your population is on fixed income. But we also have to run the business of the city. So, again, after conversations from the budget workshop, I went back and built budgets at 14 cents, 16, 17, 18, and 19, and I left the 20 on just to show where we are. Your budget A is the 14 cent, includes 2 cuts to staff. So you're currently staffed at 25. You're cutting 2 positions, a codes enforcement position and your public works position. There's 3 capital projects. And we've added in the $12,000 for the survey that we've discussed. The survey, the $12,000 for the survey should have been included in your package as well. This is what we discussed at the workshop, the areas in town that needed to be surveyed. So when I contacted the surveyors, I gave them a total survey area and then broke it apart into phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is where we really want to concentrate. That's the information that we really want to know. And I've not heard back from the surveyors. They told me they would get the quotes in for today, and I've not heard back. They may have sent the email, I've just not checked. But the 12,000 would cover at least phase 1 of having that survey complete. That's the information we need to know. So that 12,000 is built into every one of these budgets. Budget B was a 16 cent property tax rate increase. Again, you're cutting 2 positions. Takes your total to 3, you're cutting in 1 codes position, 1 public works, and you're doing 4 of your capital projects. Survey projects included in your raise number 1. C, basically the same thing. C is your 17 cent property tax increase. Again, you're cutting 2 positions, total of 23. You're cutting 1 codes position, 1 public works position, and 4 capital projects, the survey project. And raise number 1. Budget number 3, which was one it was in green, so that was presented at the last budget workshop. So that was an 18 cent property tax increase. You're still cutting 2 positions, giving you a total of 23. You're cutting 1 codes position, 1 public works, and you're doing 5 of your capital projects. Survey project is included in that in your raise sheet number 1. Budget D, which was a 19 cent property tax increase. Still cutting 2 positions, cutting 1 codes position, 1 public works, you're doing your 4 capital projects, your survey project, and raise number 2. And then budget 4 was which we discussed during the budget workshop. 20 cent property tax rate increase, cutting 2 positions, giving you a total of 23 workers, cutting 1 codes position, 1 public works, and doing all 6 capital projects that we discussed. Your survey project's included in that, and the raise number 2 is included in that. Does anybody have any questions so far? So you figure 1 penny equals about $10,200. Now, if you want a comparison, 1 penny for Roane County is about $250,000. And then you've got a very small tax base. None of the expenditures have changed. We've just had to move around capital projects. We decided which capital projects we want to do.
Okay, a question for you. Under number D, the new proposal, number D, exactly what are the 4 capital projects?
4 capital projects under D
Because it's not on this sheet.
is correct. Your 12,000 survey project, which that was not a capital project included, that is going to be $12,000 under planning and zoning, under contract services. So that's where that survey would be coded to. Your capital projects would be $40,000 for the police department vehicle. Now, there's more to the police department vehicle because I need vehicles for the street department and the utility department. So the utility is going to buy possibly 2 of the trucks, 1 of the Durangos. So there's money switching hands here. So it's not like we're going to have to fund the full 40,000. The water and sewer is going to purchase 3 of those vehicles. Now, if you look back up at the revenue, we're projected to bring in about $24,000 in sales of equipment on the city side. That is police-related vehicles. Second capital project would have been $6,000 for the fire department. That was the kind of window door upgrade. That was number 2. Number 3 is $133,000 for the parks. That's your capital projects. That's grant money where you're paving the track of the park. You're doing the LED lighting and ADA compliance upgrades. And there's $18,000 in for a new lawnmower purchase for the park. And the final item would be the $11,450 for the library. That money's coming from Roane County. So the library funded through Roane County is in all of those, every one of your budgets presented. The $133,000, which is also grant money, that's your recreational trails grant, is in all proposed budgets.
I threw Corey a curveball today. And I said, what if we just had a budget that just did raises and that capital project? Well, minus the library, because the library is separate, even though it's capital, it's separate. The $133,000 for the park. And then, so it was raises and the park grant. And then we proverbially kick the can down the road 1 more year to see if we can pressure revenue from other areas such as property taxes. If we were to somehow manage to get that number from 86 or 88%, we bumped it to 92, 93, 94%, and or other revenue sources. So I threw the curveball, just a thought.
Right. So, I mean, you could get as low as to the 15 cent. You know, no, that's one thing that, again, you keep in mind that 50% of your population is fixed income. This will directly affect them. But we're losing over $200,000 in revenue from other sources other than property taxes and sales tax that the town has relied on for multiple years. Looking down the road, looking at next year, we're going to have to make up $99,000 because we lose the Department of Justice grant, that the other police officer. So you're going to have to make $98,000 or $99,000 up right there. So it's, I mean, there's no way around it. It's tough. I mean, this is a very tough decision. And if you look over the past 4 to 5 years, I mean, it's not an expense issue. Yeah. I mean, you've cut expenses. You're to the point now you're cutting services and positions. And that's what you're looking at doing down the road. You're losing so many other sources of revenue that the only way to make up with that is increasing property taxes or increasing your sales tax base, which we're working on. I mean, we've talked to multiple restaurants, multiple industries willing to move in here. We're just going to use property. And a lot of that stuff, I mean, they're shovel ready. If they could get the property, they're going to fly in here and build. We'll set it up. Anderson County Chamber Board last week, and Anderson County Economic Development Director made the comment that he's having to turn away these nuclear and energy-based companies want to move in here. They're looking for warehouse space to move into. There's no open warehouse space in Anderson County or Campbell County right now. Now, there's property, they could come in and build new. They're just looking to avoid the upfront capital cost and looking for a move-in ready building. And there's just not that available here.
And I do want to point out something. Our city employees have gone 3 years without raises. 3 years. Has the price of groceries gone up in 3 years?
Gas.
Significantly. Gas. The insurance, my insurance rate this year phenomenally went up. Tripled on one and 25% on another. It was staggering. Homeowners went up. Vehicles went up. I think it's unfair that they're asked to bear a burden serving this town, and we've not been able to give them a raise for 3 years, right? And for the general public, they don't understand that. I hope you watch and understand that we have cut everything we can cut. We have held positions open to a point of, I mean, people are ready to check out, like, and find another place. And I couldn't say that I blame them, to be honest. So it's imperative that we give them something. And because we can't make businesses build here, and we can't make people sell, then we all have a burden to bear.
And they do a good job.
They do an excellent job. I mean, literally today I was on the phone with multiple guys. I mean, as soon as you call, well, I'm talking within minutes, like it's getting addressed. You don't go through our town and see garbage laying on the road, do you? No, if you call in a pothole, usually within a very reasonable amount of time it gets fixed, culverts get fixed. It gets mowed. If I know of a problem, it gets fixed ASAP. Period. These guys do a good job. And gals. Guys and gals. Jessica's a gal. So, she does a phenomenal job.
Any questions? Got anything? So again, I mean, what we're looking for tonight is either the decision on the sales tax or property tax rate, or if we can come to a conclusion on one, then the next meeting, we go back to workshop, and then I'll present a continuing budget resolution at the June 18th council meeting. But once we set the tax rate, then we have to have a public hearing.
I have a question. Is that grant for recreations, does that include the lighting that was brought up about the maybe Carmichael Park? Is that included in that?
No.
Or is that just the Arrowhead?
This is just for Arrowhead Park. It was like a $135,000 grant, like to pave the track, lighting improvements at the track. Was there anything else?
The ADA compliance.
And the ADA compliance.
Around the softball fields. Was it the problem, we've got a project ready for Carmichael Park.
We do.
Okay.
But we can't have two of these trails grants at one time.
Okay.
We have to get this one done and closed out for the compliance. I've actually got multiple.
Yes.
For Carmichael.
Yeah.
And it does include the lighting. So we did look at, go ahead and run the electricity to Carmichael Park. It's gonna be around $6,000 just to get the electricity there, so.
I just remember that lady that come up, she was, what'd she say, she was 99?
Yeah.
And she said that they had made a deal that you guys were gonna, scratch each other's backs and,
Yeah. Right.
win, you know what I mean? That's what she was trying to get at, I guess.
Right.
I'd like to make a motion that we entertain a public hearing on budgets number D. That's the 19-cent tax increase.
So we have a motion by Mrs. Van Hook. Do we have a second? Second by Mrs. Bailey. So we have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion?
I would just say that with this budget, looking at this particular budget, we will not be able to do the roof on Town Hall this year.
Correct.
Corey sent someone up on the roof. There was some repair work done just in the last couple of weeks. And he had him inspect the roof carefully. He says we do have to have a new roof within a year. But we're gonna forego that plan right now. That will have to come. That will have to come in next year's budget. We will have to put a new roof on this building next year. That would allow us to do, however, all of the other capital projects that we would be able to make the police department vehicle deal happen. We will be able to do the repair on the roof and windows out at the fire department in Norwood. We will still be able to do everything over at Arrowhead Park when the grant money comes in. At the Arrowhead Park, we'll get another zero-turn lawnmower. And the library will have their grant. That's what we can accomplish this year with this particular budget that I'm proposing. Our employees will get a raise, and they will also not have any changes to their health insurance benefits. They will not have to pay any more for those health insurance benefits. That's what's included in this budget that I am proposing. And I really regret that we had to take the roof repair out, but since the gentleman who was a good roofer assured us that he felt like we could get one more year out of it. We're trying to stretch our money as far as we can and do the best we can for this town. We really are.
Is the roof on 3?
Do what?
Will we do the roof on number 3?
The roof would be on number 4. The green on the far right.
So the only roof option is number 4.
It's 20 cents.
Yeah.
You have to pay, we'd have to rate it.
And the one quote that's come in so far on the roof is $36,000. So you're probably looking somewhere between 31 to 36.
We're trying to be as merciful as we possibly can be. I know that it doesn't feel merciful, it doesn't sound merciful, but it's where we are. And the problem is not only have we not collected all of our property taxes, we also have had a falling off of our sales tax. Our sales taxes are not even coming in at the rate they were. So we're taking, a double whammy, if you will. So it's, we have to make up money.
One thing that I will add, and this is just for public knowledge, is part of the State Street Aid budget for 26-27. We are going to pave Cemetery Road and Crest Circle.
Yes, in 2026.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
26-27.
26-27, yes, next year.
Yes.
We're planning to pave Cemetery Road and Crest Circle. This year, Airport Road it actually technically falls under this current year. Airport Road does.
All right, so we have a motion, we have a second. Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller,
Pass.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Holland,
Yes.
Becky Devane.
Yes.
Passes 4-0 to 1.
So you now need to set a public hearing. And I need 10 days after it goes in the paper. I have to give 10 days notice. Now, I would originally thought we could have a public hearing at before the June 18th council meeting. But I believe we have a couple of people can't be there.
Remember, the first meeting in July is holiday.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
What we could do is just, you could change the meeting date from the 18th to possibly the last week of June. That's going to push me, which I'll already have everything ready. The ordinance is everything ready to be signed. I'm going to pass, get them out.
That would be the 25th instead of meeting on the 18th.
Good.
We would be
Does that
meeting
work
on-
for everybody?
Now listen, I'll be on Should say it's on TV, but I'll be on vacation. Just saying.
Mayor's gonna get vacation.
I know, yeah, right.
$50 a month for this. What's your problem?
Yeah. So,
You can send it.
Do it. How about the 11th was really, it's pushing up to, wait, that's not even 10 days, we can't do that.
it'd have to be the
15th?
15th, 16th.
At least would be like,
What day is the 16th?
Could we have can you?
Tuesday, the 16th.
Can you change the council meeting with proper notice to like June the 15th or the 16th? Would give you your 10 days? And we could have the hearing and then have the council meeting then, rather than on the 18th, if that's legal or correct, whatever. Is that a possibility for it?
yeah, they want to.
Have to publicize it.
We do that.
Joe, I can't do that third Tuesday, and we're already scheduled in Harriman's.
You can't do Tuesday, so could you do Monday the 15th?
Yes.
Okay, so
Does that give us 10 days?
It does.
It does.
Publish it tomorrow.
So what we've got to do, since we're 3 counties, and you just had a reassessment in Morgan County.
Dudley say that, Dudley says the 16th is not good for him.
Okay, but I've got to put this in the Morgan County News. So I'll put it in the Morgan County News, Rome County News, and the other creatures.
What about the 18th? That's Thursday.
We can't do the 18th.
Okay.
So the 15th. Does that work, right?
So that's gonna be our second regular meeting of the month, will be on Monday, June 15th, and we'll have the hearing before.
So I will try to get your packets out, if it's on the 15th. Well, hang on a second. You can still have your council meeting on the 18th,
Yeah,
as long as we have a quorum,
correct. Correct,
because you've already set your tax rate.
right. You have your public hearing on the 15th.
Public hearing on the 15th.
Your
and
council meeting on the
council meeting on the 18th. If everybody's good with that. I just want to make sure,
I'm good with it.
well, I just know there's a couple that couldn't make it.
That cannot make it on the 18th, would we be better off to do it on the 15th then? That, so that, would they be able to be here the 15th?
Let's get it all done in one.
So we
We can do it Wednesday night. We can do it Wednesday night.
That's fine.
It's one on Saturday.
Dudley could be here Wednesday night, the 17th.
Yeah, I'm game for that too. Do it the 15th and, do it the 15th and 17th. Do it all the 15th.
Oh, the 17th will be better. Everything on the 17th will be better.
Or do it all the 17th.
Let's do it all the 17th. You have the public hearing at 6:30
Yeah.
and the meeting at 7. And although I'm not 100% confident of what I'm about ready to say because it deals with the budget, the public hearing, and the tax, possible tax increase, rather than have the mayor just declare the meeting, begin motion second to pass by town council to schedule a public hearing and change the meeting and then pass.
Okay.
I mean, that's, I know that the council could do that, but I also know it's possible to formally to cancel meetings and stuff like that without action. But because we got the comptroller's office and whatnot, I feel more comfortable with the motion second.
Okay.
So you want us to make a motion to change the regular meeting
To
to,
change the meeting from the 18th
To the 7th.
to the 17th.
Yeah.
I said the public hearing the 17th at 6:30. Can you be here at 6:30?
so we're gonna do the 17th instead of the 15th?
Hang on.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Can we do the Monday or Tuesday, either the 22nd or 23rd?
You're gonna be gone that weekend? I'll leave Thursday and I'll be back the following,
You're leaving on 18th,
I am, and I'll be back the 28th.
and we're gonna be gone on the 20th.
So,
Is it better for a councilman meeting?
We've gotta get
Against
this-
the mayor, but
We have to get this done before the 7th.
you don't vote, right?
I don't-
Okay, I mean, okay.
yeah, and just for a point of clarification, the mayor doesn't vote, so that's what I'm saying. So, Yeah,
It'd be better if we get
Whatever
it
you
done
all
by the
think. I mean,
17th.
I will make work whatever.
so let's do the 17th, 6:30. Motion.
I make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Van Hook, second.
So is this for the
Everything.
public hearing?
Yeah, it's for the public
For the public
hearing
hearing to
and
be followed by
then
the
followed by the
council
council meeting.
We'll put them both on me.
Yes. So motion by Ms. Van Hook, second by Ms. Bailey. Any discussion?
What time?
6:30. Wait, no.
That's all for the time we got.
It's at what time, 6:30?
The motion reads, motion Van Hook, second by Bailey, to have a public hearing on the, what budget is, it? Budget number 4,
Budget number D.
budget number D. With
Fiscal
a,
year 26, 27, budget number D.
Yeah. And that had a 18-cent tax increase?
19.
19-cent tax increase.
So actually, why don't we just do the CR and then just come back in July and hammer this thing out?
We need to go ahead and set the public hearing and advertise it in July.
Well, if we went to the 30th, you'd still be in June.
Nobody read it.
I'll possibly want to get this turned in on time.
That's correct.
I would rather not, since, I mean, I'll have everything ready on our end. It's just going through the procedure of the public hearing and procedure of passing.
The quicker town council gets it passed and approved by the comptroller's office, the quicker we can download it into the computer.
Correct.
And have the tax rolls ready October 1st.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, we got some wiggle room, maybe the middle of July, the 1st of August, but, you know, when you start moving into September, you might not get your tax rolls back till November the 1st.
Right.
So that's June the 17th, at what time?
6:30.
6:30.
Now, I won't be here though.
Robert won't be here on the 17th?
No, he'll be gone.
And I won't be here either.
On the 17th.
That whole week. In my case, it was done last year, so I'm really glad.
Well, during COVID, they allowed Zoom meetings to take place, to be honest. I don't know, do they still allow that? They don't do that, okay. I didn't think so. It's worth a try.
Shut the door.
So we're back to the CR. CJ?
I'd rather not do that.
So,
I'm waiting. Yeah, I mean, Monday the 15th, would that work for you, Rob? Be gone, still be gone.
Well, looking down the road, July 16th is the third Thursday. And if July 2nd is the first Thursday, so we wouldn't meet July 2nd, so we'd have water board the 16th. So we'd have the public hearing at 6:30 and the meeting at 7 with continuing resolution. Now, I would think if there's an oral motion for continuing budget resolution, because once it's made oral and I put it in minutes, it's in writing.
Right.
We wouldn't necessarily have to have a separate stand, and if the auditors require it, then we could draft it later on and pass it to make it retroactive if we need to.
If any way possible, we will submit on time and not do a continuing resolution. So, what about the June 29th? That give me a day to get everything turned in. 29th will.
But we're good, we still have a quorum meeting.
We should.
We do the 29th, and this Bass shows up. Will you be here the 29th?
You do, I'll be back 20.
Okay.
But then you'll be leaving.
About 27.
28th, I'm sorry, we'll do the 18th.
Well, see, we'll be gone for 28.
So if you look at the 18th, how many you gonna have here?
You won't. Who will be
You're
here
gonna have
the
four,
18th?
the 18th?
We'll be here the 18th.
You might be, right? No,
Yes.
not till the 20th, I'm right back to the 20th.
I'll be here when I,
You'll have
as long as that Saturday, I have to be.
You'll have, that will be full. Right.
On the 17th, that we're talking, on the 18th. What day is your meeting? Up to tomorrow? You think I'm off? Oh, it's not doing all the.
So let's just, right,
17th?
let's just hammer it out the 17th.
Yes.
And hopefully Jeff Bass can be here. But even if we don't, we have 3.
So we're
1,
leaving
2,
at the
3.
17th, then at 6:30?
Yeah, just roll with it. So, if it doesn't happen, cross that bridge.
You'll be here, he'll be here the 17th, we will.
Yeah.
And Becky will be here the 17th, and he won't be, and you won't. But don't we have to have 4 to pass it?
Yeah, 2/3.
Well, that'd be 4 out of 6, so it takes 4 of us to pass it.
Yes. Curious government.
So we need to know fast what we can hear.
Yes. We're good. Go ahead. Yeah. Roll call, Joe.
Now we're voting on the motion of
This,
Vatican
17th, 6:30.
Basically to have the public hearing on the budget at 6:30 and the council meeting at 7 on June 17th, 2026. And move the meeting from the 18th to the 17th.
Yep.
Robert Miller,
Yes.
Charlie Baker,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Hawk,
Yes.
Becky Vane,
Yes.
passed.
All right, last item before we adjourn. July the 4th, we will be having fireworks at the park, along with a huge event that whole day. Very excited about that. And the last thing that I wanted to, Corey, did you say it was $6,000 for electricity? That was the quote we were given?
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
That was a couple years ago.
CUB games, yes.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go home tonight, I'm gonna talk to my wife. And, Corey, this coming week, get with CUB, see if that quote is still relatively valid. And I'm gonna talk to my wife. And Jason Stiltner, Vicky Stiltner, and Big Orange Tree will make a $6,000 donation to have electricity run to Main Carmichael Park. Fair enough? All right. Without further ado, motion to adjourn. So moved. So all in favor, say aye.